Today, we're going to talk about sex. But first, picture a teenager you love. They have their whole lives ahead of them, don't they? It's really exciting to think about. But then imagine one traumatic event, just one, causes them to develop multiple psychological disorders and allows a darkness to permeate their lives for years. If you could prevent this, would you? As a teen, I was raped by my boyfriend through coercion. I carried around guilt and shame for years for the choice I thought I made. It wasn't until college, when I learned what consent and coercion were, that I realized I was raped. I spoke to my previous partner, and he, having the same sexual education experience as I, didn't realize that his coercion was considered rape. He was mortified, and I realized our community, education, and support systems had failed us. Unfortunately, this happens all too often to teenagers, so my research set out to answer, is there anything we can do to prevent sexual assault or reduce the rate of sexual assault? My study surveys the 5 states with the highest rate of rape and the 5 states with the lowest rate of rape and their sexual education laws. I found a direct correlation between the quality and quantity of sexual education and the rate of sexual assault in a state. Those states with the lowest rate of rape had very high qualities and quantities of sexual education, whereas those states with the highest rate of rape had very little sexual education, if any. According to my study, quality sexual education includes consent, coercion, and refusal skills. We have to talk about sex if we want to reduce the rate of rape. Consent is the enthusiastic participation of both parties to engage in a sexual activity. Coercion is persuading through threat or use of force. Teaching these concepts teaches would-be assaulters what is wrong and teaches survivors of assault to recognize what has happened to them and seek help immediately. Refusal skills teach a would-be victim how to say no and a would-be assaulter to recognize a no. Quantity also matters. Sexual education is most effective when it is required for graduation, where it is an opt-out program and when there is significant discussion of these concepts every year, starting in middle school. This research is critical because it prevents assault and reduces the rate of sexual assault. 1 in 4 women and 1 in 71 men will be sexually assaulted in their lifetime. That is, unless we do something about it, because we can do something about it. My research shows that this is not the reality that we have to accept for ourselves. After an analysis of countless factors, such as race, religion, political affiliation, socioeconomic status, climate, and more, my study finds that sexual education is the single largest factor that contributes to the rate of sexual assault. So what am I going to do to prevent that traumatic event from happening to the teens you pictured? I'm going to keep talking about sex. Thank you.